Moving on, let's talk about Angel Reese. She has also gone viral today for many of reasons, but the one that a lot of people are picking up on is when she is walking over to the bench and she slaps the clipboard out of her coach's hand.
Angel Reese, the self-proclaimed Bayou Barbie, just got slapped with a long overdue punishment after she slapped a clipboard out of her coach's hands on live television. That's right. Not from a player, not from an opponent, but her own coach. Because when Angel throws tantrums, nobody is safe, not even the people on her payroll.
The emotional decline continues for Angel Reese. The temper tantrums, the complete loss of emotional control continues for the Bayou Barbie, as well as the Chi-Town Barbie and Double Barbie, and whatever other alias that Angel Reese has decided to give herself.
This actually happened. The WNBA couldn't ignore it any longer, couldn't sweep it under the rug, couldn't pretend like it didn't happen in front of thousands of live viewers and even more keyboard warriors armed with instant replays and receipts. Let's rewind the tape, shall we? During Tuesday night's game, Angel Reese decided the best way to process her emotions was to storm off the court and smack the clipboard straight out of her coach.
Look, it's social media discourse. It is going to be remembered for nothing more than this. It's the only thing people are going to remember it for. Is Angel Reese tie game 29 seconds ago in frustration.
The whole thing looked more like a Real Housewives reunion than a basketball game. And the worst part, there was no immediate action and no apology from the Bayou Barbie. Just her signature I don't care face. The one that screams, I dare you to say something to me because I'm the Bayou Barbie and I've got fans. But that glittery nickname wasn't going to save her this time. Because this time, the slap was too loud for the league to ignore.
I was like, good God, she can't get out of her own way. And I don't give a rat's how frustrated she is. The Chicago Sky should suspend her for this. They won't, because they're too damn scared of her fans.
Angels fans rushed in to do what they always do, run damage control on social media. The excuse? Oh, the refs made bad calls. And Angel's most logical response to a 2-point loss was to assault your team staff like you're auditioning for a WWE heel turn. And if you think that's an exaggeration, you need to watch the footage again. This wasn't some mild disagreement. This wasn't a frustrated hand wave. This was a full-on, rage-fueled slap. The clipboard flew. Coach Crosby looked stunned. And the entire internet blinked and said, did that really just happen?
Angel Reese and her building frustration, it ended up being taken out on an unlikely target. Instead of arguing with an egg, instead of taking out her frustration on WNBA officials, Angel Reese decided to unleash her latest tirade on one of her coaches.
Oh, but it gets better. In the post-game circus, Angel didn't explain, didn't apologize. She didn't even acknowledge what happened. Nope. Business as usual. And it's all because Angel Reese has made a brand out of zero accountability. The moment something doesn't go her way, whether it's a missed foul call or a missed layup, everyone else is the problem. The refs are biased, the fans are haters, the league is corrupt. And now, apparently even her own coaching staff isn't exempt from her wrath.
Today is another day of the Angel Reese drama because she has simply smacked the clipboard out of an assistant coach's hands. Yes, now all of this went down during the Washington missed this game. This happened on national television. Now, guys, I'm not one to blow up negativity, but Angel Reese is supposed to be leading young women and being a great example to girls and kids all over the world. Well, I'm here to tell you, she was not leading by example today.
That's right. Angel's antics were completely wrong, and the backlash was swift. Fans lit up Twitter like it was the 4th of July. Clips were circulating with captions like, Angel Reese acting like a toddler at Chuck E. Cheese. And honestly, they weren't wrong. You don't need a PhD in psychology to know that slapping a coach's clipboard in front of a national audience, it is spoiled child energy. Some even joked that Caitlin Clark would have been banned from the league if she'd done the same thing. And honestly, they weren't wrong either.
We're unbelievably soft. That led to Angel Reese breaking a coach's clipboard, walking over and slapping a coach's clipboard. And by the way, if this was Caitlin Clark, you just know they'd be calling out her anger problems. It was an all-around badly refereed game. I think the
Let's talk about that double standard. If Caitlin Clark had marched over and smacked a clipboard out of her coach's hands on national TV, the WNBA front office would have deployed a SWAT team and handed her a flagrant 2 with a side of public flogging. But because it's Angel, the same Angel who gets labeled as passionate when she's throwing elbows, but disrespected when someone plays defense on her, well, she got away with it. Until now.
Sit out there. Backs the clipboard out the assistant coach hands. Just not a good look from Angel Reese as a basketball player. Just like I stated, man, she's supposed to be a leader among young women across the world. And this ain't showing very much leadership. I just gotta be honest here, dog. To me, this behavior that Angel Reese has been displaying is embarrassing to her, her team, but more importantly, the coach.
And this time, the league had no choice but to act. The cameras caught it, the fans demanded consequences. And suddenly, the WNBA, which is now desperate to protect its credibility, issued a formal punishment. Word on the street is that Reese is facing a suspension, fines, and possibly even mandatory behavioral counseling. And if you think that sounds harsh, I'd argue it's not harsh enough. Because this wasn't a one-off. This wasn't an accident. This is a pattern.
But this is some Bush League lack of respect. This behavior can't happen. It can't happen. Look at that. Slap a keyboard out of the coach's hand. They ought to give you 2 to 5 games for that. Are you kidding me? That is one of the most disrespectful acts I've ever witnessed by a professional athlete towards their...
Angel Reese has been racking up behavioral red flags like it's a hobby. From taunting opponents to ignoring media obligations to now physically lashing out at staff, she's managed to show every single shade of unprofessionalism in under a year. And while her fans keep calling it passion, the rest of us are calling it what it really is: immaturity. This is not how a professional athlete behaves. This is how someone behaves when no one around them has the guts to say, enough.
It's tough when you talk to officials and I ask them, hey, we only shot 2 free throws. We've only been to the free throw line twice up into the 4th quarter, and she tells me it's not her job. It's frustrating, and I don't give a damn if I get fined because that's cheap, and I am tired of it because I've been nice and I've been humble with it, but I am...
And let's not pretend this is just about one slap. It's about what that slap represents. It's about the total lack of discipline, the unwillingness to own mistakes, and the growing sense that Angel Reese thinks the league should orbit around her. She spent more time building a brand than building chemistry. And this latest incident just proved that she still hasn't figured out how to be a teammate, let alone a leader.
What are we doing? Part of her problem is she's got a severe lack of maturity, but she'd go on a blocking spree for anybody that's critical about her. You want to be critical about people being critical about you. How about you not acting like this? Because, yeah, people are going to destroy you over it.
Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is over here doing interviews, getting fouled 18 times a night, and somehow still keeping it professional. She gets bodied in every game like she's in a boxing ring, and yet she doesn't throw tantrums. She doesn't slap clipboards, she doesn't storm off, she just puts her head down, does the work, and carries her team like an actual professional. And for that, she gets booed, hated on, shoved, and accused of stealing attention. Make it make sense.
And it's resulted in physical alterations on the court that don't get called as fouls, that the girls then deny were intentional. And Caitlin Clark always takes the high road. She never, points the finger, but it happened again.
This whole fiasco just makes the comparison clearer. While Clark is elevating the league with her poison game, Reese is out here trying to sabotage it with every temper tantrum. She claims to be the face of the WNBA, but every time she acts out, she makes the league look more like a joke than a sport. And the league finally realized it. They finally said, we can't protect her anymore. This is embarrassing.
One of her coach's hands. Now, if this were an isolated incident, would it be a big deal? No. The problem is, it's not an isolated incident. For starters, You don't want your antics to overshadow your performance, which has been a constant problem for Angel Reese throughout her career. She is more known for her behavior than pretend basketball. But if I'm the Chicago Bravado, I'm not worried about Angel Reese slapping some doofus clipboard. I would be worried about the reason that Angel Reese slapped the clipboard. In the span of...
And let's be honest, the coach Ann Crosby didn't deserve that. This isn't some rival. This isn't someone talking trash. This is someone who literally works to support Reese's performance, helping her stay in shape and recover. And Reese thought the best way to show frustration was to assault that person with an object? That's not competitive spirit. That's straight up aggression. And it shouldn't be tolerated, not in any sport, and certainly not at the professional level.
You did it. You did this. I mean, and she's getting destroyed. The lack of respect for the coach is actually hilarious. If that would have been a technical for Caitlin Clark for not respecting the game. You see that comment. Yikes.
The reaction from other players was telling. A few side-eyed her actions but stayed silent. Others posted cryptic tweets. And then there were the veterans, those who've been holding this league up on their backs for years, who quietly nodded when the punishment came down. Because they've seen it before. They know that players who lack discipline don't last. And the WNBA can't afford to let one star's behavior unravel everything it's worked to build.
Angel Reese unleashed a tirade on WNBA officials. Now, even though she was right in what she was saying, it was clear she was visibly frustrated. Following game on Tuesday, she's slapping a clipboard out of the hands of her strength and conditioning coach. To me, these are signs of a frustrated Barbie. These are signs of a Barbie that's tired of losing. You know, adversity exposes your true character. Losing exposes your flaws.
And what about Reese's camp? Predictably, they've started spinning. It wasn't a slap, it was a miscommunication. She was passionate, the ref calls were unfair. Please, we all saw the footage. And passion doesn't give you the right to act like a tyrant. If anything, this constant excuse-making only proves how disconnected Reese has become from reality. There's no growth without accountability, and right now, Reese is fresh out of both.
Reese deserves a hefty fine for publicly disrespecting a coach. I'm gonna be interested to see, will Tyler Marsh actually address this? Will the franchise actually address this? Or are they too scared of people that I believe are not actually basketball fans, by the way?
Maybe this punishment will be a wake-up call. Maybe Reese will finally understand that being a pro means more than points and rebounds. It means composure. It means respect. It means learning that when things don't go your way, you can't lash out at the nearest person holding a clipboard. You suck it up, you regroup, you dial it down, and stay professional, like Caitlin Clark.
None of it addresses my point. My point is, she's the golden goose. You have been clamoring for attention. You've been clamoring for more cachet, fair and equitable treatment, chartered jets, weight room facilities, dollars, marketing opportunities, etc., etc., etc.
Reese has been trying to coast on college clout and Instagram filters. That's not leadership, that's not professional, and it's definitely not sustainable. And now, it's all crashing down.
More specifically, well, yesterday, Angel Reese took to Twitter and said, "Y'all be feeling too entitled, thinking y'all opinions matter about somebody else's life instead of minding your own business. I promise you win at life when you just live your own life and mind your own business. I promise."
Can you believe this? Angel Reese is literally crying on social media about losing her place after getting uprooted by Caitlin Clark. This tweet is blowing up like a bombshell on the internet. Every time Clark gets a standing ovation, Angel drops a mean tweet like, "Popularity don't equal greatness." And after her latest crash out with the coach, Angel is dropping to new lows.
If I'm the Chicago Bravado, I would be worried about Angel Reese demanding a trade. Earlier in the season, she had no one to blame but herself, but over the last 4, maybe 5 weeks, Angel Reese has been dominant and you're still losing.
Angel Reese, who was once heralded as a marketable phenom with a fresh brand and a realness that fans could connect with, has now become a walking red flag with a headband. Her latest antics haven't just alienated casual viewers and opposing teams, they're making her downright unpopular with her own fan base. And worse, she's now being labeled not just as immature, but unprofessional. And that's the one stain that's hard to wash off in any league, let alone one still fighting for mainstream respect.
She's only in her second year, by the way. Who cares? I don't care about that. Loser behavior. This guy says $50 fine.
You can't be the face of the league if you're constantly slapping people, ducking media responsibilities, and throwing teammates under the bus with your body language. No sponsor wants that. No team wants that long term. And no young athlete should be told to model themselves after someone who treats every missed shot like a personal betrayal. She's not inspiring anymore. She's exhausting.
It is abundantly clear the losing is getting to her. The frustration is starting to show. I think one of the reasons that Angel Reese has been more subdued on social media, you can't talk shit when you're losing.
If Angel doesn't hit the brakes soon, she won't just lose control of her team, she'll lose the benefit of the doubt from the league. And when that's gone, so is the media support, the endorsements, the all-star votes, and everything else she thought was hers for the taking. Because fans don't back entitlement, they back effort, maturity, grace under fire, and right now she's giving them none of that.
She's become more insufferable every game. Look at this. Get this ugly something off my screen. So disrespectful and full of herself.
Angel might learn from this, or maybe she won't. Maybe this will be just another chapter in the growing book of Angel Reese's downfall. The tragic story of a player who had all the talent in the world, but none of the temperament. A player who could have been great, but chose chaos instead. Either way, the league has spoken. The slap heard round the WNBA finally has consequences. And if there's any justice left in the sport, those consequences better stick.